Are we rolling, Seth?
We are always rolling.
I know. It's like, we never know.
I just assume.
You just assume. So
Yeah.
we're doing it now. Is this our banter?
I
or?
think that Seth starts recording as soon as he walks in. He just starts recording.
Just so that he can have the
Just
material.
everything, yeah. And then I go to edit it, and it's like 4 hours long, and I'm like, what the hell?
And then you've got all this stuff you can blackmail me with. That I
True.
say, because I
True.
told that's my favorite game.
True.
Talking
So
shit.
what have you been watching recently?
Oh, well, I have a couple of problems. Well, I've been watching the 10,000 Faces of Billy Milligan, I think it's called. I mean, I don't know how many faces it is, but it's about this dude who uses multiple personality as a defense against committing these rapes, and he gets off because only one personality did it. And then they call in these psychiatrists and they're like, okay, I want you to merge these personalities. And then they like clap. And then they're like, okay, you're merged. It's almost like comical. Yeah. Yeah,
It's disturbing.
it is. But I have a complaint.
Okay, go for it. Remember our safe word.
Gillian Anderson is one of my favorite actors of all time.
Okay.
Because she was in the X-Files and she's
Yes.
hot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
She is.
okay.
Trust me.
Okay.
So I saw that she's in a new show. Mm-hmm. So Western. Oh wait, we're not
Wait,
on radio show.
we're not on the radio
We're not
show.
on radio show. I can say that. It's a Western.
It's a Western?
I hate Westerns.
I hate. Oh my gosh, we have that in common.
Wow.
I hate Westerns.
I hate them too.
Hey, Peggy.
Peggy, Peggy's back though.
Peggy's
That's
back, I
everyone.
know.
Peggy's back.
Peggy's
Peggy's
back.
been out
Come
for a
on.
while. Yeah, let's.
Hoorah.
Peggy's
Peggy's
back.
back. So that makes life.
Well,
so
you
much
know,
better.
we've been doing a lot of virtual things, and
That's true. It's not much fun to watch us talk to someone online.
You know, it's not. No, and she's not good at reading.
Yeah,
lips.
she can't
And
read
so,
lips. Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah.
I don't like westerns.
No,
I
me
never
neither.
have.
No, they're
I
horrible.
love country music though.
Yeah, I love country music as well.
Yeah.
But no westerns.
Not that they have to be synonymous. Wait,
Well, I mean, they're like,
not that they have to be like. It's not. Yeah, I'm Tonya. Welcome to the show.
I'm her sidekick, Rochelle. Unlike Tony, know lots of words.
I don't. I think I used a lot of them before we started.
Oh, is that what happened?
Or maybe Seth has them. Maybe
Seth
they're
has
all,
your words.
They're all on the recording. Yes. Okay. Thanks, Seth. Anyways, welcome to the short of it. Welcome to the podcast. We're having fun. We're winding down to before we take a little break. Are we ready for that?
Yes.
Okay.
You're not.
She should actually answer a lot quicker than that. But anyways, yeah, we love to talk about short films. We love to talk, with filmmakers, composers, producers, actors, writers. You forgot to turn.
Oh my
shut the
gosh,
studio
the
door.
door's open.
But that's okay.
That's okay. We have a phenomenal producer who
Yeah.
just really, really knocks it out of the park
No,
all the time.
Efrain's coming down to.
Oh, Frame's coming down.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, we're
Come on.
live, but
Yeah, no, go do it.
Yeah, you just want, okay, yeah. You can be in the
you
audience.
gotta go sit over there
Yeah.
though, and
Yeah.
you're probably gonna cross one of the cameras. But go ahead.
It's okay. We
Do
love you. Yeah.
It's all about you.
Yep.
There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, because
Yep.
bending down, we'll never see you. People do that.
That's like Ollie.
Gotta get in here.
Anyways, but I'm really excited and really just wonderfully eager to find out what is going on in our guest's head, because we watched a phenomenal, disturbingly masterpiece of a film today.
Yeah.
And we have on the incomparable filmmaker and star and writer and director and editor, and you shot it too, didn't you?
I did.
and you did all the other, and you did.
Yeah, you're
Samantha.
in it. Yeah. Everything. You did everything
You
and made a
did.
movie. Yeah.
You did. Welcome.
Yeah. Welcome.
Welcome.
I don't think you actually said her name.
Samantha
DeManbey. Yeah.
DeManbey. See, yeah, I
You
was
didn't
afraid.
say- you were afraid, weren't you? I knew
'cause
you were
I don't
afraid.
have any words.
Yeah, your words are gone.
My words are gone. They're in the cloud. or whatever we call stuff back
Samantha DeManbey, who wrote and made, I shouldn't say wrote, made an incredible film called One World is Writing.
Yes. Yeah. And first of all, just before we get into that, because again, it was a masterpiece, and I'm going to have nightmares for a really long time for reasons we don't have to talk about. I'm deathly afraid of dolls. But yeah, it's in the way.
Very good to know for the future.
But anyways, Samantha, who is also Fitchburg alum.
Yes.
Got to give the Fitchburg in there. Snap for the Fitchburg.
As well as Toronto.
Toronto Metropolitan University.
Yes. That's
Are you Canadian?
No, I wish I was.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
We all do.
I think we all do, yeah.
We all do right now. But yeah, tell us about yourself.
So thank you so much for having me on. As you said before, I went to Fitchburg State for my undergrad in film video production. I've done freelancing for a number of years now. More recently, I've kind of focused more on making like my own short documentaries. And the documentary I showed you recently, One World is Writing, I actually made that in my MFA program in Toronto. I basically moved away for a few years, lived in Canada, made that film, and then came back to Fitchburg.
Where you are now helping other students kind of maneuver their way through the comm media department. So I love Toronto. Toronto's a beautiful city. I've been there many of times. What made you want to go to Canada?
Well, I'd wanted to get an MFA for a long time, but in the United States, like the price is just so insane. And I found that there are several programs abroad which accept federal financial aid, and the cost is like significantly lower. I believe when I went, it was about like roughly 25,000 USD a year. Mm-hmm. And for a fine arts degree, that's like a real,
that's a great deal.
That's a steal.
Yeah,
oh my gosh,
exactly.
We can't name other schools, right? But I also chose a program which is a low residency program that you actually went to, and
I did,
and you gave me a great recommendation to get into. They took me in spite of that, but anyway, Vermont College of Arts. But it's the same idea, you know. It was the cost was just amazing, and you know we have a lot of great schools here in Massachusetts, but my God, so expensive.
Yeah.
So you went to Toronto and you came up with this idea for this film about this author. And well, first of all, what's Shirley's last name?
Shirley Jackson.
Shirley Jackson. How did you find her? Were you a fan of her work? Did you yeah.
So I read the short story The Lottery like a lot of people do in high school. And she had been on my reading list for a long time. And it was basically during the pandemic when I had a lot of extra time. I was like, I'm going to finally get to those Shirley Jackson novels. And I just fell in love with her writing. And I wanted to keep reading more of her short stories and novels. And I found I related to them a lot personally as well.
And we should say, and we're going to show a clip of it. We should say that it is a documentary, but you do this actor portrayal in it. And as we mentioned, you also directed it and you wrote it and you produced it and you did the camera work and you probably did all the props and everything else that had to get done with it. And it really is a masterpiece of the most disturbing nature, but in a good way, in a very good way.
Yeah, it's a slow burn.
It's not really like is. Yeah, and you took creative licensing that was just what is going on in her head? How did you think about that? So how long did it take you to really think about how you wanted to tell her story? Because you're really telling her story, and then you were also kind of putting yourself into her as you see her as a writer.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, I did come around to in kind of an odd way. Like at first I didn't necessarily want to include like my own personal stories. I kind of wanted to just focus on Shirley Jackson's life story and like bring in some of the short stories as well. But then like I was doing like a lot of research and found that in her own fiction writing, she did like draw upon her personal experiences with depression and anxiety, and that directly influenced her fiction. And I found that I just related a lot personally to her stories because I had similar struggles or actual life experiences that connected to her fiction. So I was like, well, she did it. Like, why not do it as well in this documentary? You know?
Yeah. I think that's the thing that is really stunning is the weaving together of your experience of Shirley Jackson as she is a historical figure, and then your experience and how what she had to say relates to what your experience is in life. Like there's like so many layers in the film that it's like magical. And the way that you pop in and out,
I know.
I loved that. And then you would just
Breaking the fourth wall. Jinx. Sorry, that's two
Look,
Cokes you owe me.
Most people stop jinxing when they're, I don't know,
7.
maybe 20. You could maybe pull it off when you're 20 or 20. Nah, not 20.
I don't even think young people even know what the reference is.
Probably not.
You know what it is?
I jinx people.
You do?
I'm getting up there.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right. Okay, I guess it is relevant. So I'm jinxed now. So I can no longer spout my intelligent words. I will.
Rochelle, you're free.
Whew. Okay. Anyway, I
But
think
yes, you were saying breaking the fourth wall.
breaking the fourth wall,
which just came out of no. I'm just like, wait, like,
yeah. I loved that.
Yeah.
I always love sort of self-conscious filmmaking. Like I think it's the most honest kind of filmmaking because obviously we are like documentaries, the sort of old school, like pretending to tell us what is a little bit specious, right? We don't know what is, we know what the filmmaker's telling us. And so you sort of, it being about you and your experience with Shirley Jackson, while at the same time covering a little bit of her history is just absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I love it. I love it so much.
When the pandemic first began, I felt I could easily stay inside my house forever. I had gone through long periods of isolation before and could do it again. If I had enough books, then I would be fine. I started reading a lot of horror and became obsessed with Shirley Jackson's stories. This is my interpretation of her life and her work. Everything here is staged, but it's true. Her monsters are often ordinary people. Most of her protagonists are women that are anxious or misfits. They face dark forces and everyday evils. Throughout the past few years, I have found myself feeling like a character in her stories, but it is never good to see yourself in horror. And action. I have always loved to use fear to take it and comprehend it and make it work. Shirley's first published collection of short stories in 1949 featured several dark tales. In the story Pillar of Salt, Margaret and her husband Brad go on a trip to New York City, but it doesn't go as planned. A small fire starts in the building they are staying in. It is quickly put out, but it stays in Margaret's mind.
It's like a nightmare and in a strange city.
Well, it's all over now.
Margaret's husband was wrong. They go for a walk on the beach, and things don't go well.
A leg was lying on the sand near the water. It looked like part of a wax dummy. A death-white wax leg neatly cut off at top thigh.
The policeman who arrives is not impressed.
Is it all right to go home?
What the hell you want to hang around for? You waiting for the rest of him?
I'm not going to worry about it. No sense thinking about things like that.
But Margaret did worry. She worried and worried until it felt like she was being crushed by the crowds and that the buildings were caving in.
I bet you've won a ton of awards.
I've won a few awards. I mean, not a ton of awards. I got best documentary at the Reading Film Festival and
Nice.
best experimental film at the Chateauguay Film Festival.
Oh man, that's
Wonderful.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And and for me, and I don't know you that well, but it was at one point as a viewer, I'm thinking, well, how much is Samantha and how much is Shirley and how much, because you really, you don't make it that clear. And you really just kind of like, I want to know more about this woman. Oh yeah. How did you find out what you did about Shirley? Like, was there a lot, all those newspaper clipping? We're giving away too much of the film. We want you to actually like watch the film. But how were you able to do the research on her that made you kind of pull this all together?
So there was actually a lot of material I could draw upon. There's two major biographies, Private Demons by Judy Oppenheimer and A Rather Haunted Life by Ruth Franklin. They're about the same person, but they're very different takes on her life. And they drew upon like personal letters, diary entries, and right before I had started my project, a new book of Jackson's letters had been published. And so like I read through that, and that's where I got a lot of the quotes that are used in the film as well, just through reading through all her personal letters.
Yeah.
Where's she from? Where did she grow up?
So she was born in San Francisco, but she moved to New England, and so her reputation is more as a New England writer. So she lived mostly in like Bennington, Vermont.
Yeah, I consider myself to be a documentarian. That's kind of my first love, and I really appreciated how you did this, and it was, I didn't know what to expect going in, and again, I'll have nightmares, and I'm gonna email you at like 4 a.m, like, "Hey, Samantha, it's Tony. I'm still awake. Thanks for that."
Thanks.
You've done other films, so let's talk about some of your other work that you have done.
So yeah, my big documentary before this was another short. It was about my friend Sahar Ghavimi, and she's just like an incredible artist. She does painting, marquetry, which is a type of like wood carving, and just like a great person. She had like a lot of really thoughtful things to say about art and her life. She immigrated from Hamadan, Iran, to the United States to basically have more freedom as an artist and for her daughter and family. So it follows her. She works on these like 3 major art projects, but it's also about her story of immigrating to the United States and how her life changed after that.
It's fair to say that you do have, you tend to pick projects where the female-based, strong personalities, and also women who kind of like breaking the mold in a way, like women who are, I want to say activists, but just really kind of doing things on their own accord. Is that important to you as a filmmaker?
It is important to me. I mean, I called my production company Her Republic Films. So I do try to like promote like, female empowerment and like just thinking about like a better, more equal world, basically.
She should do a doc on us.
No. No. I don't know.
Okay, I tried.
Yeah, I think you do a good job of sort of finding that, like, for women, everything is harder. And I think we can all agree on that, that the responsibilities that we have are greater in many ways. And to try to be an artist as a woman, historically, like that's part of what Shirley Jackson was struggling with is the fact that, the women's production, like creative production, was not valued, is still, I would argue, not really that valued. And it
You
sounds
mean
like
being able to like have your voice and
Yeah.
tell your stories?
yeah, I mean like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pineapple.
Yeah. So, like, what is that? Is that an accurate read of it?
Yes, I mean, I did pick out like several like criticisms from different male critics
Yeah.
to kind of like emphasize that point in the film, and her very difficult relationship with her husband. Like she was like working full time as a writer, but then was expected to do like every single thing for like housework,
Yeah.
which is just ridiculous. You
Yes. Yes. And that, that's not.
And you don't, it's so interesting because you didn't really say that, but then there's that shot in the film where you see the kitchen and the sink full of dishes
beautiful.
and
Yeah.
like,
and it's at
it
the
was
same
just-
time, and it all coalesces so that you get it on
Yeah.
a more visceral level, which I totally appreciate. Because nobody, if you say that, like, oh, people don't appreciate women's, then they're like, oh, here you go again.
Yeah.
But if you sort of connect all the dots, or let people connect the dots and lay out the groundwork, and then it's really exciting to say, oh yeah, that's what's going on there. Did you see there was a feature film made about Shirley Jackson? Did you see that?
I did. I watched it after I made my documentary, so it wouldn't influence me. But I don't know. I didn't care for it. It was a very different take on Shirley Jackson than my own. So I think it just goes to show you that like how different a person's life can be interpreted.
Yeah, I think I sort a little bit know that filmmaker, and watched it when it came out, and then after watching your film, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so much richer. And made, like, when I watched, like, I'm familiar with Shirley Jackson. I haven't read a ton of Shirley Jackson, but when I watched the other film, I was like, whatever. And after watching your film, I'm like, okay, I'm reading every single Shirley Jackson thing
That's
published.
great.
Yeah, it's like she's fascinating, and I don't think the film did that work to really uncover those things. I think it was, I don't know, I'm not sure what that film was trying to do exactly, but yeah, like I'm totally into Shirley Jackson now. So good job.
Oh, great. That's wonderful to hear.
And she died at 46.
She was 48, so she was
48,
very young.
Very, very young,
Uh-huh.
right? And you kind of allude to this, like we're really not sure the circumstances around her death, although, you made it really clear that there was some depression, and it appears that her husband was this very awful person. Those drawings that you also incorporated from her books, those were hers.
Yes, she
Wow.
included those in different letters she sent to like family and friends.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those were very cool.
It's you have to watch this. Now, we know that you're helping out the amazing students at Fitchburg State, as we mentioned right now. But what other kind of projects do you have cooking up in that head of yours, which I'm like now very nervous?
I have been writing for a long time about like documentary films. So I have a Substack, The Subjective Observer, and basically when I was going to these different festivals with my film, I was seeing a lot of other documentaries, and so I basically wrote a lot of reviews and essays on documentary, and I've been teaching a handful of classes here and there.
Oh, nice.
I taught creative approaches to documentary for Alpha. It's like adult learners of the Fitchburg area, and that focuses on performance, animation, and mixed media in documentary.
Oh my gosh, I need to take that class.
You do.
So,
Seriously.
So do I, actually. That's good stuff.
I'm not like in production right now, but I am. I've been taking a lot of puppetry classes because I'd like to like incorporate puppetry into my next film project. So kind of just like building up that skill set, and I'm hoping to incorporate it into like a series of like just very short docs about like personal stories from my life.
Oh, cool.
Using the puppets.
Yes.
I love that.
Wow.
That's so
See, now
great.
those, okay, so you mentioned 2 out of the 3 things that I have phobias of: dolls, puppets, and clowns.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're a mess.
That's such a mess.
Yeah. Speaking of your Substack, I've really enjoyed reading your writing about documentary. I think you have a very interesting way of talking about documentary, and they're not film reviews like I would ordinarily read. They're I don't know, they have a lot more nuance and they're much more interesting. So was it just from going to festivals that you decided to start writing the reviews?
Yeah, I basically I finished my film and I was out of money, so I wanted to still like be engaged with documentary filmmaking and still be thinking about it creatively. And I have done a lot of writing in the past, not like critical or critiques, but creative writing. And I just wanted to try my hand at it, and I really enjoyed doing it.
Yeah, it's great. You should read it. It's good.
I will.
Yeah.
Right now.
Okay, right now. Maybe not right now. No,
Okay.
not right now.
All right.
Not right now. Not
You
right now.
always yell at me when I pick up my phone.
Well, I do because it's not appropriate during the podcast to pick up your phone.
It's not. Now, would you ever consider, even though you kind of dabbled into the acting and the dramatization of things, are you considering doing any kind of narrative work?
I have thought about it a lot. I've written a lot of fiction. At one period of my life, I tried to be a playwright. I wrote several scripts and actually had a play that Fitchburg State took to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool. Did you know that?
No, I did not. That's amazing.
It's a really long time ago. It was
Yeah,
like
but still,
almost 10
that's
years
awesome.
ago. But
That's like a big deal.
What
Like-
was the play?
it was called Fausted. It's like a modern take on the Dr. Faustus story. Of this, professor who sells his soul to the devil. My modern twist on it is this environmentalist. She sells her soul to the devil and then tries to use like the magic and power to try to like combat climate change, but it doesn't work out that well.
Okay. Wow. That's cool.
All right. So you're constantly writing, constantly doing, all different types of stuff. What do you do for fun? Not that writing isn't fun. I just finished writing for 6 months and I'm done for a while, but hopefully. But what do you do for fun?
I really love reading. I love reading science fiction, horror. I like a lot of the Russian classics as well, like Chekhov and Dostoevsky. And I do theater as well. My partner, he's a director, and so I usually end up helping him on his shows.
Locally?
Yes. So I've done a lot of work with this company, City on a Hill Arts.
Cool.
Is that in Somerville?
They just moved to Leominster, so they've kind of been around central Massachusetts.
Okay.
In
All
different locations, and they just set up residency on Leominster.
Okay. That's awesome. What do you like best? In front of or behind or on the stage? What do you like best? Or reading and writing?
It's hard to say. I think I prefer editing and the writing aspect of it. It is a bit stressful to do everything.
Yes.
So definitely if I had a bigger budget, I would bring on definitely a cinematographer or sound person and all that. So I really do enjoy more of the writing and editing process.
We're fantastic PAs.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're
For your next
always,
project,
yeah.
just give us a call. We volunteer.
I do great food.
Yeah, craft services.
Craft services.
Yeah, craft
I really
services.
do.
She's good at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
She goes over her budget a little bit, but
I do.
Yeah.
I know. Sorry.
whatever.
Sorry about that. There were a lot of people. They were hungry and picky.
Oh, they had to have Thai food though. What?
That was okay, but that was half the crew. That was
That was key crew.
that was key crew. Yeah, that was.
They were above the line.
They were above the line. I'm just gonna have a little sip of water over here. No, I think that I'm really interested in watching a lot more of your work now because it's again it's a different way of telling true stories, and I would have never heard of Shirley Jackson had it not been for your film. And for me, I love telling stories that are so I mean, I like a lot of crime drama, but that's just because, whatever's happening up here. But just stories that I would never hear about, never even think about, getting to know or be interested in. So, and you now have me interested in this woman.
Yeah.
It's like really, really cool.
Yeah, that's a huge sign of success. I think if you
Yeah.
get like both of us are like, okay, I'm gonna order all my
I
Shirley
know.
Jackson books now.
Well, I didn't say that.
Well, I am.
Well, because it's
I know
gonna
you're
make
too
me-
scared.
I am
You're a
too
big
scared.
baby.
I
Wah,
am.
wah,
I know.
whatever.
There's like
Whatever.
dolls and puppets and clowns. Oh my. What's next? Do you have something that, like, you know, if money weren't in
Take money out of the equation.
money out of the equation.
Exactly.
As we often do as independent filmmakers,
Yeah.
money's no object. You know, what's coming up next for you?
Well, I'm focused on like I said, like learning puppetry skills for these shorts I would like to make. Basically, a series of personal anecdotes from my own life, like from my childhood experiences, and I wanted to make one about my grandmother and kind of use like a personal object as like a starting point, and then transition into like a puppet show that also has like mixed media, like photographs and different like personal objects. And,
Do you make these puppets?
Yes, I would make them.
Wow.
I know.
You're just like a Jill of all trades.
Oh yeah.
Get it?
Yeah, I do. But bum.
Thank you. That's why you need your phone thingy.
I know.
You
I
need
know.
your phone
Season
thingy.
2, I'm gonna be. I'm gonna have sound effects.
We're incorporating sound
But
effects.
I'm gonna have sound effects.
I'm just gonna sit here and look pretty.
Yeah, I get to make the sound effects. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you made me forget my last.
That's okay,
next
because
question.
I could talk.
Go
I
ahead.
could make some questions up
Yeah, go ahead.
off the
Do
top of my head.
it. Yes.
Rapid fire.
Oh yeah, I want to do like inside the actor studio. Favorite
geez.
curse word. No, have you ever thought like I think that I know that you did screen your film at Fitchburg State. And did a lot of students come? Because yeah, I feel like that there's a lack of work that does push boundaries that they see, and I think that it would be really beneficial for them to see that there's more than one way to do documentary.
Yes.
You know, because you know, there's always like discussion about like documentary and how, you know, students aren't really that interested in it, but you know, some really, really are interested. But I think that the possibilities are they don't maybe quite get. And so I wish that students could see that. I wish they would have gone to the screening. Yeah, that's a hard thing, but. You know, I don't know if you thought about like bringing students on as PAs to your productions or like advertising in the community or do you feel like what you do at Fitchburg is completely separate from your work?
I do kind of feel that way. Like I do kind of want to separate like my work, the job I have to like pay my rent versus like my film work, which is like my passion and my career and my life's goals. And I do, even though like not on the production side, I do collaborate with a lot of my actor friends who do voiceover work. And I brought on different composers. So when I have money, I spend it on like things I can't do, like having extra voices and a composer, which I feel is like really important to adding like more production value if you don't have a big budget. Like really good music can make a huge difference.
Yeah, that's so true. I don't think people realize that, like how important the score is and how much that supports what's going on in the film or can work against it as well. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Now, did you ever work with Bob Harris when you were at Fitchburg? And we are having Bob on the podcast January 1st. So we get to say so long to him. But were you able? Did he see your film? What thoughts did he have?
I sent it to Bob, but I don't know if he got a chance to watch it yet. But I'm
Bob.
hoping he'll
Oh my
watch
gosh.
it
Come on,
soon.
Bob.
Bob.
This is right up his alley. Are
I
you
know.
kidding me?
I know.
gonna
He's the
love
documentary
it.
guy.
We'll call him.
Yeah.
We'll get on that. No, but I'm just interested because I did have those. I'm thinking like, oh, did she take Bob's experimental class? Like, because that was some of the stuff that he really tried to get his students to understand was not me, because I'm way too old to change my ways.
Well,
but
I would say rigid. I wouldn't say old. I would say rigid.
rigid. But there are different ways to tell a story. Even in documentary, there are different ways to tell a story.
Yeah.
I had Bob for multiple classes at Fitchburg State, intermediate, documentary and audio production. And then my senior year, this was before there was kind of like a documentary track within the program. I got like a special exception basically to do an independent study on a documentary and have that count as my advanced credit by auditing the advanced class and then working individually with Bob Harris. I made a documentary about my sister and her like struggles with depression throughout our lives and how like our paths kind of diverged, even though like we're only a year apart in age, like how differently our lives turned out. And so I worked with him very closely on that film, which was not experimental at all. It was very traditional, like interview, observational based documentary. But I felt I learned like a lot of lessons from Bob, like just about like making a documentary. And like I really appreciate how honest he was with his feedback. Like I remember sometimes it was like, "Oh, you're making your mother look terrible here." And he just always had like really thoughtful things to say about my sister and the process of doing that documentary. I had originally wanted to just do like a way too broad idea of like, well, I want to focus on like depression and bipolar disorder in general. And he's like, that's way too much for like a short documentary, which I think is kind of like a common mistake for people starting out is like they try to take on like way too much in a short film. And so he's like, well, like, why don't you just do it about your sister? Because that's directly related to the subject.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it hard for you to because you also did this in this film as well, to touch upon your personal life and experiences how difficult is that?
I mean, it is pretty difficult sometimes, but at the same time, I do feel like a need to like kind of get it out there in a way. Especially when it comes to like mental health struggles. Like, there's still like, it's gotten better, but there's still like a lot of stigma around it. And especially for older people, like I feel like it's hard to talk about, but I think it's really important to have it be less stigmatized and have people just be more accepting in society and like offer more grace instead of like being so harsh in their judgments at work or in school.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I appreciate that. I mean, I took the kind of narrative approach to tell my story and took a lot of creative licensing, as filmmakers do when they're telling their stories.
Yes. Yeah.
Tons of creative licenses, right? But it comes from a deep and personal space. But for me, it also allowed me to kind of like separate myself from it a bit, although it was horrible to make. So I can only imagine, and then you say you and your sister are, a year apart, and how did she respond to it?
Kind of like mixed messages. Like at one point she was like, "Oh, you made me look so messed up," and then another point she was like, "Well, why don't you make another documentary?" So I don't know.
You can't win.
Yeah.
Well, I think that what you're doing is really important, and I was just so pleasantly, shockingly, wonderfully surprised with the story of Shirley Jackson and the way that you told it, and it just it really made me appreciate. Yeah, and I can't wait to see more of your work.
Yeah, me too. And read more too. Like your Substack is great, and we'll put all your stuff on the podcast so people can check it out because because you're amazing. And and I guess the thing is I've worked with you. Well, you were at Fitchburg before I got there, and then you left after I got there to go do your MFA. And then you came back, and your sort of school persona is very reserved.
I was just going to say.
Yes, that's true.
Very, very reserved, very professional, very
Yes.
reserved.
Yeah. And I feel like I did not have any idea that, well, once we actually chatted one day and you were telling me about your Substack. And so I started reading your Substack, and then you gave me a link to your film. And then I was like, oh my gosh, this person is a genius. And
Come on.
no one knows it. No, I'm serious. It's
You got
really,
to show that in your class.
I'm going, if you will let me, I will show that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, it's incredible. It really is. And students need to see this kind of work because it's also doing what's possible and doing it in the most engaging way. I loved that film, and you did it all yourself.
Yeah.
And I think students, I encounter this a lot in that, I can't do that. I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. I don't. And it's like, instead, you're taking puppetry class because you want to make a film that has puppets in it.
Right.
Like, that's the way to do it. And
Right.
I think conveying that is huge. And so there's like this whole wealth of Samantha DeManbey that I did not know existed. And I'm glad I know now.
Yes, absolutely. Even at the end when you're like striking your set and you're still like telling the story, it was, I was just like,
So
yes,
good. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Samantha, thank you so much. Like I'm really I just can't wait to see more. I can't wait to see more. And then, begrudgingly I will get over my fears because I do want to see what you do with this puppet series. I actually do want to see that.
I don't even think the Shirley Jackson one is really not that scary.
No, you know what?
I know it's the dolls.
We'll let you go see it. It's some of the imaging and and the dolls and the faces, and then at one point, like, when we're looking at the house in the mirror, and then the face appears and then it goes away. So I'm like,
so cool. So you just don't watch enough horror films.
I don't at all.
I'm completely immune to that. It's
You're like, oh, of course there would be a face that pops up randomly in the window for no reason whatsoever. Samantha, thank you for stopping by.
Yes, thank you so much.
And just quickly tell folks where they can find your work.
So you can find my film work at herpublicfilms.com, and you could find my reviews at thesubjectiveobserver.com.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah, thank you, Samantha.
Okay. Now we're going to do our
outro?
Exactly.
Our outro. You can't make fun of me for being such a scaredy cat. Like I
can.
Yeah.
And I will.
All right.
Also, you don't like Sinners that much, which really bothers me.
Okay. So I did like Sinners. There were some of the themes that, particularly around the treatment of women,
I agree.
that it's just, I'm just tired of it. I'm just, it's just, and then there were like all these kind of like sub stories that, and the power of good and evil, yes, and Michael B. Jordan is a goat. Like, sorry, move over, Denzel, because he's coming up. He's
Legit.
coming up like really fast.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a bad movie.
No, it was a fantastic movie.
Yeah, and I think it just got like best movie of the year. Someone
Did
just
it?
just wrote about that somewhere. Joyce Hayward. Hey, Joyce. Who else?
I love how you act like you don't know where, but then you're like, oh my, like, oh, it's fine.
Well, because that's where I read it. I read it on Joyce's blog. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, it's not a bad movie. It's just
phenomenal.
It's a phenomenal movie.
Yeah,
It's like,
the music.
yeah. No, the music. Yeah. And the dance scene.
Yeah.
Where it went from like,
Yeah.
old to new, and I mean that was fantastic.
That was amazing. And I saw it in the theater, so it was like a jam.
Did you get up and boogie?
No.
Okay.
No one wants to see that.
And that's the short of it.
Indeed.
The short of it is brought to you by the Den Beauty Lounge. Visit thedenbeautylounge.glossgenius.com for more information and book your appointment today.